Hello my lovely gamers, my name is Jonal and today we're taking a look at how to counter Winston as Genji, or at least how to play against Winston when you are Genji. This is extremely important now, especially since dive meta is still strong. A lot of people are saying that in the future, when the Reinhardt patch is through and all that shit is coming, when the Zarya stuff is coming, that the dive meta will die. I don't believe so personally. I still think the dive meta will be viable on a lot of stuff, and therefore it's really important to be able to fight against a Winston when you play Genji. And it doesn't work like a lot of people think, where oh, they have Winston, we have Genji, so you need to swap the Genji. That's not how this game works. As long as you know how to play against him, you can beat the Winston no problem. I'm very sorry for my voice. I just came home from a LARP event and it was raining like hell, so I'm sick right now, so I hope that my voice is okay. I'll try to get better as soon as possible, but let's just begin right now. Fighting against the Winston is actually not hard. It's only a couple of things that you need to remember. And the biggest thing is keeping your distance, and it's really simple, but that's really it. You keep your distance, and then you can left click and maybe sometimes right click at the Winston, deal poke damage to him. You probably won't be able to kill him when he has heals and other support stuff and stuff like that, but that's more team oriented fighting, right? But a lot of times just keeping your distance is the most important, and by that is don't waste your dash. If you dash and then he leaps on you, then you're gonna die. I'm gonna talk about how you can save yourself if that happens, because sometimes you get caught by the Winston without your Swift Strike, and then you're kinda, screwed unless you know how to play against it. But in general, if you make sure that every time the Winston leaps you, you just dash back to your team, you dash away from him, you take a high ground position or something, so that you get away from the Winston and keep that good distance between you two, then you should already be pretty good, because then you can legit kite Winston, just use him for ult shots. He's really easy to land headshots on, he's easy to have a hitbox on, you should be able to consistently land a bunch of shurikens on him. And even if you don't kill him, you build a lot of Dragon Blade, and if their Winston is chasing you like that, so you're just cutting him around, they lose a tank, and you can still work on their DPS as well. You just watch out for the Winston, so it's a win-win for you. Now, if you get caught by the Winston, so if you fuck up with your Swift Strike or something like that, and you get caught by the Winston and there's nothing around you, you will probably die, unless you gotta sit on team support. Again, we're not gonna talk about that, because, sometimes you can't trust the team, sometimes the team is not gonna work as well. Maybe your team is having problems, or maybe the reason that you are getting damaged is because you are out of position from your team. But then you will probably die, and at that moment it's just like either try to get back to the team or try to deal as much damage on the Winston, so at least you can get some ult shots off this shit, or at least hopefully someone can come and kill secure it. But if you do a mistake, this is how you should save yourself. Essentially, it's actually very simple. If there is a lot of stuff around you, if there's stuff that you can wall climb on, stuff that you can wall climb and double jump over, then you do that. You play around the stuff, signs, stuff to hide behind, and then you wait until you get your Swift Strike back, or you jump around tossing shuriken at the Winston, right? You can, for example, climb over something, you climb up something, double jump over it, and while you're in air, you're outside of the Tesla cannon range, so then you can shoot at him before you land, and run around the pillar, and play around the pillar until you get your Swift Strike back, when you can dash back to your team. A couple of times you can win a 1v1 like this against the Winston, but a lot of time just getting back to your team is 10 times as safe, and that's really all there is to it. When you're caught like that, just climb up. Especially like stuff like if the enemy Winston leaps you and you can climb up to high ground, just climb up to high ground, right? Because he has to wait for his leap to reset to get up to you on high ground. So using a wall climb is very important if you're about to get caught by something like a Winston, and therefore that's also something to put into your mind, right? So if you know, okay, the Winston is gonna leap me soon, I don't have dash, but then I'll start moving towards this high ground building that I can climb up on. As soon as he leaps me, I'll just climb up on that. And there's not really much more to it. Drop down in the comments if you want to see anyone else how to counter as Genji, or if you want to see anything else, like how to counter Soldier as McCree or something like that, right? How to play against those, drop those down, but I need to know what hero you want me to feature, so Genji counter Winston, and then what hero you want him to fight against or counter against. I'll make a video on that, because how to be good on a hero is really all about also understanding how to beat everyone else on that hero, and you can do that as long as you know how to play against them. Their strength and your weaknesses needs to be known, so that you know that, okay, they're gonna try to exploit this weakness and they are strong on these points, so I'll stop playing on those strengths and I'll start trying to avoid my own weaknesses. That's the only way to do it, and that's a really good way how to beat players, even though they are running quote-unquote counters to you. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, and dislike if you didn't, drop down in the comments what you think, or if you have any comments to me on general the video and the video suggestions that you want to see. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, you like what I do, it really supports me guys. As always guys, my name is Jonal, and as always, keep the enemy in your crosshair.